When did the story of polymers begin? It all started a long time ago. Namely, many of the components we find in nature have been present from the beginning of time, and used for all these years. For example, DNA, wool, cellulose, or rubber. But these natural polymers often do not have the appropriate properties that we need for many of today's applications. By applications, we mean various products for personal use, households, business, and so on. This desire to make such material that will be useful for a specific application was the reason or driving force for many researchers to start researching in this field. And one of the first with significant results in this area was the inventor Charles Goodyear. He tried to improve the properties of natural rubber. In a way, he succeeded in this quite by chance in 1839, when he managed to improve the elasticity and toughness of this material by adding sulfur. In this way, he discovered the vulcanization of rubber, which is still used today, of course, with various additives. But a lot of research was done later, and today, the quality and reliability of tires have been significantly improved. Further significant work is from Alexander Parkes, who made the material by treating the cellulose with nitric acid and with the presence of a suitable solvent. This material, which he prepared, made it possible to design and carve or convert it into specific products, such as buttons, combs, picture frames, and knife handles. Parkes then presented his material and products at a major international exhibition. He also won a gold medal for this invention, but this did not help him much in his company's success, which went bankrupt 2 years later. Although his company went bankrupt, this invention laid the foundation for cellulose nitrate plastics. Do you know how to answer the following question? How are elephants related to the history of polymers? We would probably get quite a few different answers here, but somehow the most frequent words standing out here would be, for example, tusks, skin, nails, ivory, ears, eyes, felling trees, billiard balls. So, what is the connection? In the beginning, billiards was a game of kings and nobles. However, in the first half of the 19th century, it also became popular among the general population. At the time, billiard balls were made of ivory. Due to the popularity of this game, of course, there was a shortage of raw materials. Besides, quite some elephants were killed, so the American company at the time announced a special prize of tens of thousands of dollars, which today would amount to about $240,000. Who would invent a material to replace ivory? Another reason for this was that ivory is a very inhomogeneous material, and billiard balls made of ivory had uneven surfaces. As a result, billiard strokes were often uncontrolled. They tried to control this defect by treating it with nitrocellulose. Still, unfortunately, this nitrocellulose is explosive and causes this coating to explode with strong blows, which could quickly lead to another disagreement among the players. A significant breakthrough in this area was then made by the Hyatt brothers, who mixed nitrocellulose and capers. The result was, of course, a durable and thermoplastic material, which they named celluloid, and celluloid is the first commercially successful plastic. Apart from being used for billiard balls, it was also used for glasses, pen cases, and similar. But due to the content of nitrocellulose, products made of this material were flammable. The Hyatt brothers are also important because they designed the first plastic injection molding machine. A further significant achievement in this field was done by George Eastman, who patented photographic film. The point is that he applied a photosensitive layer to the celluloid ribbon. This material is also used for photographic films. Still, due to explosiveness and ardor, fires in cinemas were quite common, and there were quite a few human casualties, so they also looked for alternative solutions in this area. An alternative was then found in cellulose acetate, presented here in the formula on the right. These materials mentioned now are semisynthetic. Therefore, the primary raw material was taken from nature and processed to a certain extent. The first synthetic plastic was discovered in 1907. Beekland was the one who discovered it. A Belgian chemist synthesized the so-called bakelite from phenol and formaldehyde. This phenol formaldehyde resin had the main advantage over the materials developed up to that point in that it was stable. As a result, there have been no more accidents than before. In addition, the Bakelite's exceptional electrical insulation ensured additional success. Because of this property, it has been used and is still used today in many applications. We also see some examples of the use of Bakelite in these pictures. So to say that, in a way, the beginning of the polymer industry has also helped to protect certain species of animals, especially elephants, and it also helped to spare the lives of quite some hunters since, in this ivory hunt, many hunters had lost their lives. Here I am listing a few more years that are important for developing various polymeric materials. If we look at this graph, we can see that all these years were before 1950, and the production of polymers was minimal compared to today. To this day, this production of polymeric materials has multiplied. In 2019, a massive amount of 368 million tons of plastics were produced worldwide.